I'm Baz Francis of the bands Magic 8 Ball and Mansion Harlots, and I'm a solo artist as well.
Thank you so much for being on the interview. So where are you from originally? It's kind of obvious.
Originally, I'm from the United Kingdom in the southern part of England called Berkshire. I was born in Ascot, next to the famous racecourse, and I grew up in a town called Old Windsor predominantly, which is just next to Windsor Castle.
Oh.
So, yes, the real county of Berkshire.
How was growing up there like?
Privileged. I love the area, and I have incredibly fond memories of growing up around those parts. I think Windsor is one of the most beautiful towns and unique towns in the world for pretty obvious reasons, and I have no complaints. I just think that we all get to a certain crossroads in our life where we seek something new, and when I first came to LA or California originally about 18 years ago, and then LA just over 10 years ago, I was like, that's where I live, but this is home.
Mm-hmm.
And eventually Andrea, my wife, and I moved to LA, and when people say to me, where are you from? You know, and we're standing in LA, I go, well, just down the road. Because where you're from and where you're originally
very different questions.
Coming from are two different things.
Yeah, you're right. Did you always want to be a musician?
No, I wanted to be a soccer player.
Okay.
And yeah, that was all right. But see, the problem is I went to a private school in the south of England, and I was all right, you know. And then on the weekends I'd play for a club that was mostly people from the state schools, and they were a lot tougher than us wimpy posh kids, and we'd get our asses handed to us each weekend, and then like during the week I'd be like the hero of the team, you know, scoring goals against these other privileged kids. So the reality of me playing for my beloved Chelsea in England was not really based in any good sense, and it didn't really matter anyway, because when I got to the age of 15 I completely fell in love with music, and it just became all about that then.
Was music a part of you before that, or?
I mean, I always, you know, had favourite songs, but I was very unmusical. Some might argue I still am, and yeah, I couldn't sing or play an instrument. I had poor rhythm, and it was really anything that I do now has been learnt from the age of 14 or 15 onwards. So.
Okay, very cool. Who are your musical influences?
My biggest are the Manic Street Preachers, a band from Wales, a small British band called Queen, Marvin Gaye, and I would say those are the top three, but also Nirvana, Everclear, then right through to Stevie Wonder, Donny V, my dear friend, and Led Zeppelin, Alice Cooper, Guns N' Roses, Aerosmith, Cheap Trick, Faith No More. It's one of those sort of like...
It's a mix of a lot of genres.
A lot.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So, but I would say that the big three who sort of got me into music, well, the big four that really got me into music were probably Nirvana, Manics, Queen, and Marvin Gaye.
Okay. Cool. What's your favorite Marvin Gaye song?
That's a good question. I love Come Get to This from Let's Get It On.
Mm-hmm.
I also love What's Happening Brother from What's Going On. Let's Get It On from Let's Get It On. And You're All I Need to Get By, the duet with Tammy Terrell. I think that's beautiful. I'd say those are probably my favourite 4.
Good choices.
Thank you.
What's your biggest influence / inspiration to writing a song?
It's going to sound terribly ambiguous, but a love for something.
Mm-hmm.
Whether that be a person or a place or a band or a pet. When you feel so passionately about something, you feel compulsed to put it into words and into song. That carries you from A to Z, just so much easier than sitting down and trying to strategically write a song. Well, there should be a bridge here and there needs to be a double chorus.
Yeah,
when you
there
write
needs to be some passion.
So I think a true love for anything or anyone is always the biggest inspiration. And I have to sort of be sort of clear that it could be many things, because if I just sat here and went love, you'd go, oh, so you have to fall in love every time you want to write a song. But maybe, but fall in love with a variety of different things in life.
So, like, what's the inspiration behind Saving Grace?
Saving Grace is, well, it was Andrea, actually. And I was thinking about how I feel like I'm not so bad, because despite all of the flaws I see in myself, someone finds saving graces in me, and that makes me feel, okay, well, maybe there are some redeeming factors to my character. So I would say she's the inspiration of that on the light side, and I'm the inspiration for it on the dark side.
Makes sense. For you to like write a song, like from start to finish, or does it vary?
It varies so wildly, and the last year has taken me away from writing more whilst I've been recording the Mansion Harlots album, because I've been taking on production roles that I didn't have beforehand, and I'm itching to get back to, sitting down and writing the next album already. So however long a song needs is basically the answer, because some songs percolate over many years and some come together really quickly. Like, I could write a song in a day that's great, I could write a song in a day that's terrible, and similarly I could procrastinate over a piece for 5 years and the results could be just the same, either great or not so desirable on the ears. And I've certainly become quicker at writing now, but for me, some of my favourite songs are not necessarily all the ones that came to me straight away. Some of them did take time, and like when I get to writing the next album, I don't want, and this is why I'm sort of taking my time getting back to that, because I don't want to rush it. It's writing songs for the sake of writing songs is redundant. You have to sort of, so there have been a couple of occasions where I have taken time away from a certain band of mine, to sort of focus on something else, because I actually think that benefits the band to have a break. And I feel that if you try and go straight back into the studio to always record the follow-up, you're going to start to sound very similar if you're not careful. So I sort of try and remove myself from the situation, take in some new ideas and inspiration, and formulate a game plan. And I think that's benefited the albums I've put out so far. But the Mansion Harlots album has taken longer to make than I ever anticipated. But there are all necessary parts of the process. You've got the writing, which is great, and you've got the recording, which can be very fun, and you've got the performing, which can be great as well, but they can all bring their own nightmares.
Yeah.
And if you are working really heavily on touring, then you're not going to have so much time to spend in the studio, and if you're constantly recording on a song, you're not going to have as much time to write other ones. And it's about trying to find that balance as well, you know, between
absolutely
overworking. Because like I said, I could do all three of them right now. You know, I could write a song, record it this afternoon, and do a show tonight. Doesn't mean that all three of them will be very good. It just means that I'm trying to cram as much into my diary rather than actually take the time to go, is this any good?
Yeah, and you'll be very tired if you do all three in one day too.
And you'll burn yourself out really quickly in a city of this scale.
Yeah.
Because there's always something going on. There's always a show. There's always someone offering you something, and you have to sort of learn to sort of go, is this a real opportunity, or are they trying to sell me something?
Absolutely.
And a lot of people, and globally, not just in America, but I've noticed this all over the world, people do try and sell you the product. They go, well, if you do this, then it will help you get this many views, and all these people will turn up at your shows, and if you pay us this money, we'll make you into a superstar. And you hear it all the time. So rather than sort of go out just to be seen, taking the time to go, you know what, I'm going to stay in tonight and work on this piece. It's the discipline.
Yeah, absolutely. So, what's the favorite song you've ever written of yours? Why?
This question is one that changes all the time, because it's like, you know, as people have said before, it's like picking your favorite baby. I think I don't have children, but I think I'd be able to decide who was my favorite kid easier than my favorite song. You know, that kid's annoying, you're my favorite. Prove me wrong. Yeah, I think I'd be good at fatherhood. But picking a favorite song is a tough one. The song at the moment that I'm enjoying most in my head, when I sort of walk to the shops and I've like got a song in my head, and I go, oh yeah, that's one of mine, is Losing My Faith in Human Nature from the second Magic 8 Ball album. And I love it because I was going through a divorce when I wrote that, and I had this person trying to blackmail me with, you know, revelations about my private and sexual life. And I wrote a song and I said, you can't really shame me because there is nothing I won't tell you anyway. And yeah, I'm a slut, what of it, you know? And it just felt so liberating to just go, you can't touch me. And it was empowering, and it also sort of still has resonance to this day. Not with that individual, she's long gone, but just that sense that if you own your decisions, you know, people can't knock you.
Mm-hmm.
It's when you live in denial that the real problems come. I don't have a problem. When you go, I've got lots of problems. Yeah. And it's also tongue-in-cheek to a degree about losing my faith in human nature, because I haven't really. Some people test me on the issue, but I think that there are some wonderful humans who are out there to restore it whenever it feels in danger of being attacked. And that one moment of kindness in a day, that will always be the best legacy of that day overall unpleasantness that you come across from people. So it's kind of like if I was being serious, the song would be called "You're Testing My Patience in Human Nature," but it's more fun singing "I'm Losing My Faith in Human Nature." So,
yeah.
So right now it's that song.
Okay. So let's talk about one of your bands, Magic 8 Ball. When did you guys form as a band and all that?
The first Magic 8 Ball rehearsal was 2004.
Wow.
The first performance as a duo was 2005. The first full band show was 2006. So it could be one of those 3 years. And now I'm reforming the band in LA with Nick Eberstein, and we performed last month on LA Talk Radio and at the Universal Bar and Grill in North Hollywood. Okay. And just like in 2005, doing some shows as a duo, and ramping up for the full electric show later on in the year. And it's lovely to see the band that I started in Berkshire, England, now on flyers and posters in LA, California.
That's so cool. That's awesome.
It is exciting, and also when you sort of have someone on stage with you, like Nick, you have something you don't have when you're playing solo. You have a camaraderie, and you have that bounce off another musician, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. Just like sometimes performing solo can be liberating and sometimes it can be lonely.
Mm-hmm.
There are merits to both, and I just prior to coming here today, I got some show offers for Magic 8 Ball in Southern California, so we're just organising that right now, but it's been a story that has evolved over the last 14 years almost.
Yeah.
But the first Magic 8 Ball song was written 20 years ago.
Okay.
Before there was a Magic 8 Ball, it was, this is going to be for my band one day.
Oh.
And that was Local Girls, and 2019 is its 20th anniversary, which makes me feel terribly old. But I'll tell you something, I played it live last week in Malibu, and I hadn't played it in a while, but I felt like it, so I did, and I loved it. You know, I really loved playing that tune, and it's lasted over half my life and still maintained its appeal to me, so I'm proud of that, and you know, just getting old, aren't I? Well, it's for me it's different. Like the with Magic 8 Ball, because it's had so many different members over the years, and I speak to Robbie Holland, Magic 8 Ball bassist, as well, and I speak to him regularly, and I said, I'm going to restart the band over here with Nick, and he was like, well, of course you must, you know, of course you must. And you know, if Robbie was to come here, he'd be still in the band. You know, it's about that sense of community that goes beyond the immediate. So he's not on stage, but I still love him dearly. And he's like, oh, I was walking home today and I was listening to us on the, you know, on my headphones, and sort of starting again, which I've always done with Magic 8 Ball. It's gone through so many different cycles. It never stops being daunting. It never stops being frustrating. It never stops being wonderful at the same time. And that's why I've been doing it for so long. And I'm very proud of the people like Robbie he's been in Magic 8 Ball on several occasions, and I don't think we're done yet. I don't think our story's at its end. But it's so nice for me to have people like that in my life who are like returning to the story and always contributing. And right now his main contribution to my life is as a friend, and he's, you know, wonderfully supportive as a human being. And yeah, he's still in Magic 8 Ball. It's just he won't be on stage with us
in a different form.
But that's not to undermine Nick's input. I was rehearsing with him last night, and he's a fantastic musician and he's a good friend, and it's exciting times ahead, and I hope that on the back of Magic 8 Ball relaunching in the States, his music as well, under his artist name of King Awkward, will also get some exposure. So that'll be good to see as well, because he's got some great tunes.
Yeah, that's a nice segue to the last question. What's next for you and the bands and just in general?
For me solo, I'm performing for you in a few weeks' time.
Yes, the 31st.
The 31st of January at the Other Door in North Hollywood for BehindtheBirk. The concert promotions, not the video sessions. We have to specify the difference. That's the next thing for me solo. The next thing for Mansion Harlots is I shall return to recording towards the album later on today, and that's due out soon, I hope. It's just a lot of work. And the next thing for Magic 8 Ball is next Friday at Bar 20 on Sunset Strip. We're playing at 7:45, and that'll be Nick Everstein and I performing as an acoustic duo, Magic 8 Ball.
What's the date on that? January?
That's January 11th.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's beneath the Grafton Hotel on Sunset.
I'll try to make that.
It'd be wonderful to see you there. I'll get you a drink. Words make up promises with a hand held high. If a shine come darken my door. Known you forever, but I don't see you anymore. If a shine come darken my door. I'm not even saying that I need more than a moment of your time. Make it your place or mine. Think of the last time we went across the sea as teenage versions of the people that we'd grow to be. Loved on the left hand, but held back by the right. You'd be welcome Thursday, maybe late on Sunday night. Well, I'm not even saying that I need more than a moment of your time. Let's get together sometime. Words make up promises with a hand held high. If a shine come darken my door. But I'm going to do this in the key it was
It was intended.
yeah, so. Another record broken, no tea and sympathy. Inside the coldest season, what burns inside of me? I'm always broke down, I'm always broke down now. To tell a different story and dress it up the same, although it pains to tell you, some things will never change. I'm always broke down, I'm always broke down. Love comes in many shapes. Now if you wanna talk, I might not waiting for you. If you wanna communicate, when you wanna talk, there might not be an answer. Till that time, don't let me go on. Empty seats when the people go away. Adventure is in color, your skies are always gray. You always rain down, you always rain down. I kick the bucket over, it always seems to be when there's a rotten apple. I fell out of the tree, I always come down. But love comes in many shapes. Now if you wanna talk, I'm not waiting for you. If you wanna communicate, when you wanna talk, there might not be an answer. Till that time, don't let me go on. No one said it was hard, but the spoon in my mouth, it rusted long ago. I thought I'd let you know that if you wanna talk, I might not waiting for you. If you wanna communicate, when you wanna talk, there'll never be an answer. Till that time, don't let me go on. Oh.